Hey guys, this is Sam with ENN Coins and Cards, and today we're going to be going through some nickel rolls. Alright guys, so here are the rolls. We have $18 worth of nickels, and we bought these as part of a bulk collection, and we haven't opened them yet, so we have no idea what's in them, but you can see that they are marked by decade. So we have 1950, 1940s, 1940s, 1950s, 1950s, 1940s. So it looks like they're all marked from the 40s and 50s. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they'll be from the 40s and 50s, but given that this was part of an older collection, I bet they probably will be. The question is, are we going to have any silver in here? Are we going to have any 1950Ds? Those are the two things we're going to be looking for specifically. So 42 to 45 silver war nickels in the 1940s rolls, and we're going to be looking for the 1950D in the 1950s rolls. Possibly going to be pulling out some maybe nicer 1955s, maybe some nicer 1950 Philadelphias, or anything nicer that we might find we'll pull out as well. But I don't know what's in here, so we'll open up the first roll and find out. If I can get it open. All right, so definitely looking like older circulated nickels. That's a good sign. The older Jeffersons are higher relief. You can usually pick them out right away. So we have 1952, and I think that's a D. Yes, 1952D. These older mint marks beside the Monticello are kind of tough to see sometimes. 1953D, 1954D, 1957D, is that a 59? Yes, 1959D, very common. 1954D, 1958D. So the 58 and 59 Philadelphias are less common than the 1958 and 59 Denvers. 1959D in pretty decent condition. Not worth much more than a nickel, but I'll pull it out. If we were trying to fill an album, that would be something we would keep. Oh, looks like we have a 1939. 1939 Philadelphia. Interesting. So 1939s kind of look like 59s. The 3 and the 5 look suspiciously the same. So if you're just glancing at it, you can mistake them very easily. But since we have a 39 Philadelphia here, we're going to have to check the back or the reverse for the doubled Monticello. So I'm going to be pulling this aside. I will look at it under the loop later. 1954D. 1952 Philadelphia. Oh, another 1939. So we're going to have another opportunity to see if we have the double die reverse. 1953, 1956, 1959 Denver, a chewed up 1957 Denver, 1952, 1957, another 1939. So that's 3 1939s for this one roll. 1959D, 1952, 1953, 1953, 1959D, 1955, and I'm not sure if there's a mint mark there with that smudge. I'll pull that one aside. I think 55 is a little bit lower mintage, not necessarily rare, but in the nicer conditions, they're a nice find. It's a little bit tougher to get for the album. 1957 Denver. 1957 Denver. Pretty nice, 1957. Look at that. Maybe we'll start an album for the shop. That'd be cool. Comment below if you think we should start an album with these hunts. I think we definitely should. 57D. 53D. 57D. 53 chewed up. 54. And a 1959, another 1959D. Once again, very common. 52. 52. 59D. 53. 52D. 52. Philadelphia, and 56D. Decent 56. Might pull that one aside. Okay, now we're going to open up the 1940s, and let's hope there are some more nickels in here. I think I'm already seeing some silver. Can you spot it? There's one right there for sure. You can tell by the green. They have a very unique worn look to them. 1944p. And the dead giveaway is obviously the large mint mark. And it looks like we might have another one here. 1943p, you can tell by the green, and I think I see another one peeking out right there. 1942p. Awesome. So at least 3 so far, and we're only 1 roll in. All right, we got 1941. 1942. Okay, so here we have a non-silver but war year nickel. So this is a 1942, no mint mark, minted in Philadelphia, and it is a normal copper nickel before they made the wartime alloy. And if I compare it to the 1942 we just pulled out, you can see the huge difference in color. So the one on the right, the sort of greenish color, that's the silver alloy. And the one on the left is the normal copper nickel alloy. So some people do collect these since they're a transition year coin. They're not worth a whole lot more than a nickel, maybe 7 cents or something. But if you're doing a album fill, they are a little bit tougher to find. I think some people save them, mistaking them for war nickels. Oh, another 1942 Philadelphia. 1940D. 1948D. 1946. 1946. 1946. 1946. A lot of 1946s. 1940, that's an S. 1940S. 1941. 1947. 1946. 1946. 1941. 1946. 1948D. We have 1942. Oh, another war nickel. I didn't quite catch that one because it's not quite as green as the others. 1942 P. 1948. 1940. Oh, I should probably pull that 1942 P out, shouldn't I? Ooh, where did I put it? Right there. All right, 1947. Oh my gosh. Look at that. That thing is corroded. Although I think this is a war nickel. Look at that. Can you see the green tinge to it? Especially on the rim. It's got that silver color. Well, this is definitely environmental damage. You can see the pitting, massive pit right there. And I don't know if I can get a date on this. I'll have to look at it under the loop. It looks like if there was a mint mark there, it's completely worn away. But I think this is also a war nickel. So there's silver in it. Regardless, we'll keep it. 1946. 1941. 1948. That's a pretty nice 1948. Definitely going to pull that aside. See if I can start an album with it. 1949. 1941. 1948. 1948. 1947. 1947. 1942. Another wartime non-nickel or a non-silver nickel. 1948. 1941. 1941. 1947. 1948. Okay. 2 rolls in, and we have 3 1939s, 39 Philadelphias, I believe, to check for the doubling on the reverse. And we already have 5 war nickels. How awesome is that? Well, I think we're going to open the rest of these rolls, and I'll probably go into a time lapse, and I might pause if we find any more of these war nickels. Given all the 1940s rolls, 1940s, 1940s, 2 more, looks like, 3 more. 3 more from the 1940s. We'll see if there's any more war nickels in here. I'm going to open these right now. Yep, look at that. I already found one more. 1944P. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and search the rest of these, and we'll get a tally at the end. Oh, close. Probably pause on this one. Finally found a 1950. Now, it's possible that I've overlooked some in this huge pile we have because I feel like when I'm doing it on camera, my brain is only half focused on the coins. So I'll probably go through them again, but pulled out this 1950, flipped it over, Philadelphia. No surprise there. Still a little bit tougher to find, though, than, say, the 1958 or 59 Ds. So we will pull this out in case we want to start an album. All right, so here is the verdict. We just finished hunting those rolls. We ended up getting 10 war nickels, which is awesome. I've never gotten this many war nickels out of rolls like this before. Just, generic. I've gotten rolls marked 1940s before, but they almost never have war nickels in them. Also got a bunch of coins that I would consider worthy of an album. So just pulled out some nicer, maybe XF to AU nickels here that would be good for an album. Pulled out 5 1939s. So whoever was rolling up these rolls, they put the 39s in the 1950s rolls, which is why I think that they mistook the 3 for a 5. I didn't see any 1938s either, just 1939s. So who knows, maybe they were 1939s or 1930s rolls with these rolls at one point. They are all Philadelphia, so if they were D or S, they would be semi-key dates. Well, actually, they would be key dates. And I did check them all for the double Monticello, and none of them have it, unfortunately. So they are just common circulated 1939 Ps, but still not bad. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know I had fun sorting through all of these nickels. Comment below if you've been doing your own nickel hunts or if you had started filling an album. I know we've had a few customers come into the shop saying that they have been doing some nickel hunts based on watching these videos. One even found a 1936D Buffalo, which is really cool, I think. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this, and thank you for watching.